Good evening. Good evening. Just wanted to stop by and share a quick word of encouragement with you. Last week, I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were talking about people making room for others. And I shared with her that God had just dropped something in my spirit about that earlier that morning, and I made a note. And what God said to me, and I'm going to read it so I can give it to you exactly as He gave it to me, is when people won't make room for you, God will. It's the God connect that you want. It's eternal. And so sometimes we look for man, we look for people, we look for humanity to open doors for us that God never intended for them to open. The opportunity for you to walk through a door has to come from God. And it reminds me of 1 Samuel 16, when Samuel went to Jesse's home. God sent Samuel there to look for the new king because God had rejected Saul. Jesse had 8 sons. 7 of them were present, probably in the home, and the other was out tending sheep. Jesse kept presenting his sons to Samuel to say, is this the king? Is this the king? And every one that he would present, Samuel would say, no, that's not him, because that's what the Spirit was telling Samuel, that's not him. Finally, after he went through all 7 of Jesse's sons, Jesse said, well, I have one more. He's out tending the sheep. So he called David in because Samuel said, well, we're not going to sit down to eat until that other son comes in. When David walked in the door, God spoke into Samuel's spirit and said, that's the king, anoint him. See, David's father did not make room for his gifts, but God did. David's father nor his brothers, they didn't see what God had planted in him, but God opened the eyes of the man of God to be able to see what was in David so that God could take David to the place that he had for him. That led David to serving Saul. That led David to being a king and doing great things for the kingdom of God. That led David to writing and sharing all of this word that we have on worship and praising God and pouring your heart out to God. And so what we have to remember is that when God opens a door, it's an eternal door. When man opens a door, it's temporary. It's temporary. That door can close at any moment. But when God does it, you can bet your dollar on it. Every dime that door is going to feed you eternally. It is the well that never runs dry. It is the blessing that brings no sorrow. So just remember this, that when people won't make room for you, God will. It's the God connect that you want. That's the eternal connection. Have a great evening. I'm Pastor Muriel Pitts. I'll see you soon.